And one of the things that I am noticing that is different is the kind of the online course movement or the self-pace courses, and that where it seems that we're moving kind of in that direction, at least with developmental classes. And so that's a difference, and I know that that's a really hot topic too, and it seems like it's system-wide also. But besides that, I kind of came here to kind of see what are the issues and what's going on in the UH system here, because I'm familiar with what's going on in California, but I'm interested to see what's going on in Hawaii.
One thing with Sharon over to Ryan, I have a department member in my department who I hardly ever see sent online. Doesn't come to school, doesn't meet with students face to face, refuses to. Serves on no committees. So basically, his lack of involvement means that everybody else in the department's got to pull his load. And part of that has to do with governance and union issues and stuff like that. He's not pulling his load to even help maintain what job satisfaction we have. He's only thinking about himself. And I know there are a couple other ones that are in other departments that are like that. That's a fear to me.
That's interesting. I think it's a valid fear. And as you said, I think it's a governance issue at the department and unit level as well.
Yeah.
But
I would say on our campus, if anybody is willing to teach online, the chairs jump at it. Because the more online courses we have, the happier they seem to be. The chairs are happy, they fill up, I think they're getting that pressure from the administration.
Well, we don't have parking and we don't have classrooms.
Yeah, well, if we could make the campus a more pleasant place to be,
We have a pleasant campus, but we don't have parking anymore, although we did a few years ago. So that's part of it. We don't have classroom space, and at one point we went from 8,000 to over 10,000 students. We've dropped back since then. But it was to deal with that massive influx in part of students. But the mentality seems to me to sort of stay that, online.
I think the pressure comes from the students as well. If you look at surveys of both grad and undergrad, they're split. There are some that say, I don't want to take any online courses, and there are a lot of them that are saying, I want more online courses. Why don't I have enough opportunity so that I don't have to come to campus every day? And the interesting part for me is I don't think that most of them want 100% online. They want to be able to have an option. And so actually, one of the things that we're exploring right now, and the way I taught my class last fall was a hybrid.
Yeah, that's what I do.
My students could choose on a week-to-week basis whether they were going to come to class or participate online, because we did it simultaneously. Project the web conference at the same time we have an omnidirectional mic in the middle of the table just like this, so half my class could be face-to-face, and the others, some of them participated from a neighbor island.
I think that's a really good idea, something to really push with that, because it's probably the best of both worlds now. And if you're sick one day, that gives you an option as well.
Absolutely.
But it does at least provide some element of contact, which I think is essential.
And then you are coming to campus, although you don't have to. Some of it could be 100%.
You're saying is what we should all be doing. We should be doing what's right for the student. And that's more work for you to do that because you're doing both. But some of these faculty, they don't want to do that. It's not about the student anymore. It becomes about them.
I think the other thing too is that what you should be telling the administration is that, well, this isn't going to be cheaper, it's going to be more expensive, because you need to invest in the infrastructure to do that. And I, as an instructor, I'm spending my time trying to figure out the IT aspects and running all this. It's got to be somebody else, because my job is my specialty. My research in that area, my teaching in that area, I should be spending my time emphasizing that, not trying to figure out, which button do I click to, connect up with somebody. And
that wouldn't be pretty.
My first 2 weeks of an online class, I'm usually playing tech support, and the first person who asks me an actual psychology question ends up, thanking them. Like, a question about psychology, thank you.
So we need transparent technology to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
it's available at the time that you need it. And, I mean, there's a lot of thinking that goes into
Yes.
to doing a quality job, and that's kind of my
And
thing.
that's sorely lacking in many areas.
And I think the other part is how much of that money is gonna trickle down to you. You know, I mean, you got 100 students, how much money is being produced? And is that staying at the administration level? Is it being used for tech support? Is it being used for your infrastructure? Or are you being rewarded by the system? I mean, just imagine if you had 100 students and you had 100 emails.
I wouldn't want to teach a course like that in that manner, but yeah, I think there's some limits, and how it's funded is definitely an issue. Thankfully, our deans have been very supportive of investing in the technology for distance ed and for tech infrastructure of college education so far.
Well, that's rightfully so, because you think about how much money is going to come to that college based on the number of full-time students.
I think
That's
we're
the
the
game.
number one online offer through Manoa Outreach College. I'm not sure that's exactly correct, but approximately so. Probably about half.
So what we seem to be talking about is not whether online is good or bad, because I think we'll all agree that there's a lot of good things about it. But the concern is about the abuse by
Preventing that.
faculty or by administration.
Yeah. I'd rather be
Maintaining
proactive
quality.
and put it in a positive frame. The concern is
Yes.
strategizing and getting it
Yes.
right rather than being reactive when
Yes.
it's not right.
But to prevent that abuse, we have to have some kind of rules, and the rules have to have some enforcement.
I think the reality in our department, when they talked about online, basically they said, you know, here's the website, you know, go to it, learn how to do it, and you do it. Well, I said, well, forget that. I'm not
That's
gonna talk.
symptomatic of the problem.
Yes.
But I know we don't have the resources to provide the infrastructure. I mean, we barely have IT support. We pay for part-time IT people from PBRC. You know, that's all we can afford. And, you know, fortunately, we get some good help, but,
Sorry, what's the unit again?
public health. And we're probably better off than a lot of departments.